Nah, I don't think it's possible. I'm just not good enough for this. Doubtful, insecure, hesitant, reluctant. It's common to see adults around us fall into such behavior, using such reasoning to stay in their comfort zones, while often we are the ones doing this as well, whichever the reason it may be, like commitments, past trauma, fear, comparisons, or expectations. Ultimately, we recognize or think that we're just the average Joe, that we're not special, which amplifies this behavior. I was the same. Well, sometimes I still am, but whenever I feel this way, I'm reminded of Kumiko's journey in Hibike Euphonium. Hibike Euphonium follows on my Kumiko and the Kitauji High School concert band as they overcome past struggles to strive for a goal at the regional and eventually the nationals, with Kumiko eventually becoming president in her third year in the club. The series explores different characters' struggle, offering a range of relatable experiences. Characters like Reina, who strives to be special despite the smallest steps, and Asuka, the charismatic leader who hides her true self, illustrating diverse paths of personal growth. And there's Natsuki and Hazuki, who aren't as skillful but was able to demonstrate perseverance and the importance of effort throughout the series despite falling short multiple times. And there's Kumiko.
よかったね、金賞で。悔しい。本気で全国行けると思ってたの？あんたは悔しくないわけ。私は悔しい。めちゃくちゃ悔しい。
Such comments that reflect her accepting and settling for the lesser isn't really that rare in our everyday life. Another way to phrase this though is being realistic. That itself is probably a fine way to live, but that moment sparked something within Kumiko. No, she wasn't moved by it and chose to lock in like your usual sports anime protagonist, but she tried to run away from it, seeking a fresh start, chooses a high school that isn't known for their band, changes her hairstyle up, even wants to go with a different instrument, but she was unable to resist getting involved in the band due to Midori and Hazuki. Kumiko's fresh start seems ruined at this point, but that wasn't the case at all, as she realized that she found meaning in the decisions she made, specifically the decision of joining the concert band once again. She's received results of her hard work along with the band. They've worked hard to convince Taki-sensei, their director, to earn themselves the right to perform at the Sunfest, and eventually impressing the crowd during the Sunfest performance. She rediscovered her passion with the euphonium when she's teaching Hazuki the basics and helping her to find her own passion with tuba. She's also finally gotten the chance to see and face Reina up front, whose presence pushes her to be better, to be someone special. This theme of wanting to become special has been a part of the series through Reina, who's that special one for Kumiko. But this theme is magnified during episode 8 of season 1, as Reina said, "I simply want to do something others wouldn't," as she invited Kumiko to climb on a mountain during a festival day. It's not just the action of climbing the mountain, but the mindset behind it that sets her apart.
私、興味ない人とは無理に仲良くなろうと思わない。誰かと同じで安心するなんて馬鹿げてる。当たり前に出来上がってる人の流れに抵抗したいの。
To do something others wouldn't, understanding what it takes to become like Reina is what drives Kumiko to finally break free from her self-imposed limitations at the start of the season and starts taking the euphonium, which is her rekindled passion, seriously. Not too long after being driven by Reina, Kumiko faces her own quest of climbing her own personal mountain.
久美子ちゃん、ここです。ありがとう。
Kumiko is beginning to express her desire to improve and to be special, pushing herself to the point of a nosebleed. As Midori describes, she's indeed aiming for the moon. However, Taki-sensei still doubts her ability to perfect that part for the competition. Undeterred, Kumiko works even harder.
その指、息の強さとタイミング。求めるべき音はちゃんと頭で鳴っているのに、実際にその音が出ないもどかしさ。次々と確実に狙った力加減で、狙った息の強さで、狙った音をリズムに合わせて出していくことがいかに難しいか、私は思い知らされていた。
Despite her improvements, slowly but surely, it wasn't enough for the competition. Like the butterfly in the episode that can't escape the spider's web, Kumiko too is unable to break through her own quest.
はい、そこまで。それから UFO、ここは田中さん一人でやってください。もう一度、今の指示に気をつけて。3、
それは一瞬だった。反論の隙も猶予もなく、先生はそれだけ言うとすぐ演奏に戻った。
Aim for the moon. Even if you fall short, you land amongst the stars. This quote inspires us to push harder towards our goals, but little does it capture the feelings of those who only land amongst the stars. However, Kumiko's journey in the story portrays this sentiment vividly. Her desire to improve reaches a climax in the series, where she finally understands how Reina felt at the time, how it feels to be so upset that she could die. Kumiko came to realize how much she likes the euphonium after demonstrating such grit, a stark contrast to how she tried to avoid it at the start of the series. This demonstrates that passion doesn't always come first, it can be cultivated through action. Up until this point, Kumiko has shown significant growth, but she remains a bystander in conflicts. Whether it's Aoi's decision to quit the band, Nozomi and Mizore's reconciliation, or Mamiko's clash with their parents, she acts as our lens, observing these events without getting involved. This trait of Kumiko is better explained by Asuka in Season 2.
気になって近づくくせに、傷つくのも傷つけるのも怖いからなあなあにして安全な場所から見守る。そんな人間に相手が本音を見せてくれてると思う？
This behavior is understandable, especially coming from her who didn't even choose a side when the club voted for their yearly goal. It's common for people to hide their true feelings as always suggested and go with the more popular option to avoid potential pain. But she's starting to put herself out there, facing herself head on. She goes out her way to ask Natsuki to practice together. She finds a passion and for once sticks to it properly. She learns what it's like to feel frustrated despite wanting to improve and falling short. She stands up and claps for Reina during the solo part audition when no one else does. She braces herself and bears her heart in front of Asuka, who's trying to quit the band for reasons that seem responsible to adults and parents, even though Asuka herself is the one that wants to play in the competition the most. At the time, she knows that she might fail and get hurt. She understands that words become superficial when the heart is laid bare, like what Asuka suggested. She also recalls what Mamiko told her to do her best before any chance of regret. This time, she puts herself out there directly for the first time.
諦めるのは最後までいっぱい頑張ってからにしてください。私はアスカ先輩に本番に立ってほしい。あのホールで先輩と一緒に吹きたい。先輩の UFO が聞きたいんです。
And as a result, her UFO-like sound reaches Asuka. This also marks the beginning of Kumiko truly finding her voice that's able to reach people, as she's appointed to lead the first years by Taki-sensei during her second year in the band. She leads and resolves various conflicts amongst the first year, notably addressing Kanade's concern about taking Natsuki's spot in the audition for the competition. But this time, she isn't a bystander anymore. She proactively tells Natsuki to leave things to her hands, and she takes the initiative to confront the core question to Kanade's concern.
一生懸命頑張って努力して努力して努力してでも結局ダメだったなんて誰にでもあることだよ。そんなことばっかりだよ。いつだって頭をよぎるよ。 やってみなよ。オーディション全力でやってみなよ。だってかなでちゃん頑張ってきたんだもん。頑張ってきたからあんなにうまく吹けるんでしょ。ずっとずっと頑張ってきたから。
Her newfound voice and what she's become throughout her experience in the band is further utilized as she becomes the president in her third year, where she faces more responsibilities and challenges, solidifying her growth and leadership strength. It isn't even shabby to say that the third season felt a lot heavier due to the constant toll on Kumiko. She had to solve members' issues, unite the band during turbulent times caused by the auditions, and moderate the members' doubts about Taki's decision with the audition results. All while she was grappling with her own self-doubt about taking on this new role, striving to be the best performer she could be, and trying to secure her spot in the solo performance while trying to figure out her future path. What do you like to do? Why do you do it? If these two questions have driven the series prior to this point, then for season 3, to me, it's what do you want to be? And staying true to it, truly living up to its means. Because despite these difficulties, Kumiko demonstrated maturity and grit as she finds out what she wants to be while trying to stay true to herself. She valued Sari, a first-year member who approached her for consultation and reminded her about the situation of the club with gratitude rather than apologizing, reflecting her leadership and genuine approach. Despite emotional setbacks and Reina's harsh comments during her time as president, Kumiko remained steadfast in uniting the band and showing her leadership style by being authentic and true to herself. Even though she fell short in the solo part audition, she was able to take that moment to put a pause on addressing her own feelings of frustration and took the necessary actions on the spot.
これが今の北氏のベストメンバーです。ここにいる全員で決めた言い逃れのできない最強メンバーです。これで全国へ行きましょう。そして一致団結してどうしてそんな必ず金を全国大会金賞を取りましょう。
Some might say that the reason for Reina to not choose Kumiko seems absurd, but well, I beg to differ. The reason is simple. Humans are self-contradicting creatures, whether subconsciously or emotionally. It's like having an important task but putting it off until the last minute, or wanting to get fit but constantly skipping workouts. With that in mind, I think it's totally understandable Kumiko to waver during the audition when at first glance, she seemed to figure out her career path and claims that she doesn't want to lose to Mayu. In that moment, Kumiko chose to stay true as a president and to herself. She grits through the struggles as a president and the audition throughout the whole season to stick to Kitauji's strength first principle that she follows, so that she's able to stand with Reina, who always stayed true to her drive of wanting to become special side by side. And her speech was able to resonate with everyone at that time. I recently graduated, and I find myself facing a similar dilemma to Kumiko's earlier struggles. A career decision looms, and the weight of uncertainty is heavy. I'm reluctant to choose a path because I'm unsure which one is the right one for me. I don't want to rush into a decision, especially when there's so much more that I have yet to explore. Just like Kumiko in the first half of the series, I'm hesitant and find it difficult to put myself out there. However, Kumiko's journey taught me that doubts, setbacks, expectations, and conflicts are normal on the path to growth and self-discovery. It's through these experiences that I myself can also find my true passion, much like Kumiko realized her love for the Euphonium as a desire to improve grew stronger. I too know that there's a part of me deep inside me that's screaming that I want to improve, and I know that as long as I stay true to myself, or at least attempting to do so all the time, I will be able to find the right path for me. I may not be special, and I am probably slowly accepting that I might be average, but like Kumiko, I will still put myself out there and do my best, even if I fall short. That's how Hibike Euphonium inspired me to put myself out there. To close things off, here's what I want to say to those who are currently fans of Hibike Euphonium or those who will become fans in the future.
北宇治高校吹奏楽部へようこそ。